Welcome to What's the Tea with divine due diligence. Thanking God for lessons learned through time and experience.
Hello, everybody. This is Divine Due Diligence coming on to you to tell you this is What's the Tea. But I'm here to talk to you on today to let you know that twin flames is real. But the process of being reassigned is something else. I'm on the reassignment part, and that's what I wanted to unpack on today. But let's unpack twin flames, because a lot of people, it's not. Twin flames are real. We actually come in this world together just as. So if you think of a regular twin, they come in the world. They're born in the same womb, but they have to split apart an egg. They have to split the part of the egg, and then once that happens, then you got these sacs and everything else. So once they do that, so when you think of the natural way of twins, this is the spiritual realm of twins. So we come in like-minded. We come in having a same mindset, a same mission, the same everything. But somehow it gets misdirected, because we all have to learn lessons. But we supposed to all come back into oneness, the fullness, right? So at the end of the day, when we come back into the fullness of understanding, oh, this is the person I'm supposed to have this mission with. This is the person I'm supposed to, complete life with. Not just life, but the mission that God called us down here to do. It was one and the same. And so fast forwarding this, right? Being redirected is very different. Please put your stuff on mute. Please put it on mute. So when you get redirected, it's very hard, because when you already know who that person is, you try to be like, oh God, is this person ever going to get right? But it's not supposed to be a force. They supposed to make that choice of saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do, because God designed me in that fashion to do such a mission that I'm supposed to do. So I had an experience, because I asked God, I said, God, I really want to know exactly how my twin flame was supposed to actually be, because at the end of the day, you can't change that person's mindset, but I always wondered. So I asked God to give me that understanding. So he sent, if y'all see me post, the guy name was David, the North Star David. He sent him in my life to tell me and show me how my twin was formed, how he was supposed to be, from being hurt, being used, whatever, mistreated, whatever his traumas was. He showed me that aspect of him being the enlightened one. And so I don't know if you understand enlightenment. Enlightenment is, I get understanding of a full understanding of where I'm supposed to be in God, who I am in God, what I'm supposed to do, the mission, the destiny, and the purpose I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go at from there. So when we got that understanding, we recognize ourselves being ascended. That's where Jesus came in. He came. That's why he had that halo over his head, because that he's had ascended to the most precious part of basically being the Godhead. That's what that halo is, the Godhead. So when he got to that ascending part, he had that halo over his head, and he had performed his duties. But let me go back a little bit. A lot of people don't understand, when you get ready to go through ascension, you get separated. And getting separated from people is kind of hurtful, but that is a process. So we recognize Jesus coming on the scene at like the baby, how he came on the scene, but we never recognized from that age of 12, which is the understanding, all the way up to the age of 30 when he started doing the work. If you recognize that, that God had designed him to be set apart. So he was actually set apart. So when he was set apart, he got all the understanding and knowledge of who he came on earth to be, what he was supposed to do, who he was supposed to be, where he's supposed to go. When he went to go heal people, deliver people, that was all downloaded into him. That was all bestowed upon him. That was all planted in him. That was all done before he came on this earth, before he came on the scene. So this is how we are. So basically, Jesus is the forerunners of us. And a lot of people don't understand it. Yes, he died on Calvary's cross. Yes, he shed his blood. But at the end of the day, he is the forerunner for us. He is the one that show us the way, how we supposed to walk, how we supposed to talk, how we supposed to move, and how we supposed to have our being. But if we don't come to a realization and a full understanding of that is who we really are supposed to be like, because yes, we have our own identities, but we are supposed to be the making of him. So that means we're supposed to be enlightened. We're supposed to ascend. We're supposed to understand the transitions in life of how we're supposed to be, where we're supposed to go, what we're supposed to do. This is where purpose is. This is where destiny is. And this is where mission comes from. So fast forward up. I know I'm talking a little bit, so I got to speed it up. But it's going to be part 2 to this, though. But at the end of the day, God sent David to me. Now we have the north node and then we have the south node. The south node is what we come in the world with, the understanding of what our lessons is supposed to be in life, what we're supposed to go through, how we're supposed to make it through, what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to impact people and things of that stuff. So we have to go through all that to get to the north node. So once we go through all the karma, all the issues, and all the circumstances that we're supposed to go through in life, never not think that what you go through is not for a reason. It's for a reason. And it's not just for a season. It's a reason that you go through all these things. These lessons are supposed to be learned before you move to the next level. You learn the lessons that you came down here to learn, and then you move to the next level. Now, if you don't get that understanding, I don't know. But we are supposed to learn these lessons, even if they're hurtful, they're painful, you don't understand them. There is always something to unpack and something always to get out of these lessons, okay? So now, so that's, and also that's living in calmer. So when you got karmic, because it's karma is what you get in, and then when you in the south node, you are called a karmic. So karmic gets calmer. But when you enter into the north node, the north node is you going north, you going up, you ascending. So when you get that point, you get Dharma. Please put your stuff on muted, please. So you get the Dharma part. The Dharma is the good karma. So you are in the Dharma node and you're receiving the good karma. So God allowed me to see and feel and understand what my twin flame is supposed to be like in the north node. Because at the end of the day, I knew that he wasn't going to accept the call. When God took me back to him, and I didn't understand why, but he took me back to him to recognize, okay, let's give him one more try. Let's give him one more understanding. Give him one more knowledge of who you are. And then if that's not me, then go ahead and do your mission and your purpose. So that's how this came about. I spoke about this prior to before when everything has been forsaken, everything was lost, and everybody didn't want nothing to do with me, or I was talking crazy, or they didn't understand what I was saying. I was put by myself. So at the end of the day, David came into my life maybe like 2 weeks ago. I want to say, yeah, about the second week of January, he was brought to me. And by way of work, honestly, I went into this room about to draw his blood. So now I'm getting to the story, y'all. So I went into this room, get ready to draw his blood. And I was like, oh man, look at this. You know, when you look into the back of the person here, you're like, oh man, okay, yeah, you know, I'm about to talk to somebody, and I'm thinking this person is old. So he turned around. I'm like, what is you doing in here? So that sparked the conversation. So I was like, what is you doing in here? It was like, wow, I busted up my whole left side. I was like, oh my God. He was like, yeah, he was riding his scooter and he flipped over the sidewalk, and then, you know, that stop, drop, and roll thing that he tried to use that they tell you with fires. He used to try it with the scooter, but it didn't work too good for him. So at the end of the day, he messed up his whole left side. So during this time, he was talking spiritual stuff to me, and I was like, wow, I never met a person in my life, and I'm saying right now, I never met them to talk spirituality to me. The thing that I talk about and I acknowledge and understand, I had a person to come to me and just talk to me about it. So when I got to the point of talking and understanding, I was like, oh, here, take my number. And I literally called, you know, put his number in his phone and make sure that was the right number, because, you know, some people, you know. But at the end of the day, we started talking, and he was saying things to me that I knew, but to take knowledge of somebody understanding who you are. The things that he was saying was, you're very intellectual. I was like, wow, nobody never told me that, but I already knew that. It's not about to be, my high-mindedness or nothing like that. It's all about knowing who you are. So when God sends somebody in your life to know who you are, and that you know that a person fumbled you, then it's like, oh, shoot. Oh, I got my rockers on. I'm ready to go. Now we about to do this thing, So at the end of the day, we want to stand on. My thing is about being honest and standing on business. If you can't stand on business and be honest, then hey, you're not being an authentic you. So he allowed this person to show me my in a high level soulmate. Can you put your stuff on mute, please? So
Hold on,
at
I'm
the
gonna
end of
leave.
the
I'm gonna
day,
leave. I'm gonna leave. I don't even know.
so at the end of the day, you want to know who you are as far as intellectually. Like, so he told me that I was intellectual. He told me that was very spiritual, highly educated, of knowing who I was in God, because a lot of people think they're in God and who they want to be in God, but know who you actually are in God. So that was told to me. And it's not just of, he's seen these things, but it's knowledgeable because he got it through the spiritual realm versus through knowing me. So this is why I feel like a lot of people fumble me, because you know me naturally, but do you want to know me spiritually? Put your likes in. Put your thumbs up. Let me know. You would rather for somebody to know you on a spiritual level than just a natural level. This means you know all about the person, all about who they are in God, not just the natural of understanding. At the end of the day, you want to be known, all of you known. Not just part of you, not just some of you, but all of you. But when you got people that just think they naturally know you, they don't really know you, because at the end of the day, your soul is who you are. And then the spirit that dwells within inside you with your soul knows you more. So why not know a person on a spiritual level versus on a natural level? So moving on. He got to understand me through the spiritual realm before he even understand me through a natural level. He didn't even know that when he met me that I was a mom and all this. He just took the spiritual realm and told me who I was. So I recognize now that what I do is not wrong, because I look at people on a spiritual level versus a natural level, because you can show me anything in the natural. But at the end of the day, you can't change up the spiritual part of you. So when I look at people now, I don't say, oh, you look nice or you're beautiful. I really actually take the time to feel them out, to utilize the understanding of them on a spiritual realm. So when I come in contact with people now, I'm like, hi, how you doing? And I get to understand them of what makes them tick. Not just on a natural level, but a spiritual level. Knowing that who I am in God, I have switched how I look at people being who I am in God. So I look at them on a spiritual level. So most of the time I'm trying to see a person in their eyes, because I know that's them. I have to see a person in their eyes, because at the end of the day, if I don't really know you. That's how I see people now. So if I'm not looking in your eyes and you having a conversation with me, that's a problem. If you can't look me in my face and tell me what you're talking about, or tell me how you feel, or tell me what you mean by looking me in my eyes, then there's a problem. So I use my time wisely. I use my time at a considerable rate of understanding a person for who they are. And like I said, not just naturally, but most of the time on a spiritual level. Now, if I got to work with you, I have to dwell in a natural sense versus, spiritual, but I still try to get the person know the person on a spiritual level. But the North Node is Dharma. Dharma is good karma. Good karma comes from having dealt with all the lessons in your lifespan that you're supposed to have dealt with. I just found that I'm actually in that Dharma part of getting a lot of things that come back in a good way versus sending them out in a negative way. So if you find that things is consistently looking the same that you have already been through, you have not learned that lesson. And so you're still in a karmic situation. But I did come on here. I have to do another What's the Tea, because there are notes that I'm just running off of, like, mindset of how this had came to me. But I will be on here Friday. No, I'm sorry. I have to go back up in Maryland on Friday to pick up my son. I will be on here Saturday. I have to switch my days this week, but I will be on here Saturday to download to you guys and unpack everything that you need to know about the process of how God changed you over from your original twin flame. There's such a thing called the Akashic Records, that he goes in and change a lot of stuff that needs to be changed when no one wants to do what they're supposed to do in God. So we'll talk about that. We're going to unpack the Akashic Records. So, but again, when someone comes up to you and you're trying to figure out where you are, what steps are the next steps, because that's where I'm at. I was at that part, like, God, I'm doing my purpose, I'm doing my mission. I said I really wanted to know how it felt to be with my twin flame in that good Dharma. So he actually sent a high level soulmate to me to be able to tell me in a download what I need to know to move to the next level. Now I can get a high level soulmate if I want. Like, I have free will to pick now. Twin flames don't have free will to pick. We are also always supposed to go back to our twin flame, but most of the time we meet our twin flames when we're married, which was kind of crazy. I felt that, I don't know about y'all, but I felt it was kind of messed up that I was married, that I met my twin flame. But that's literally how it goes. You in a relationship with a soulmate, and it's not a good soulmate. It's actually a karmic soulmate that you will find, that you will meet your twin flame, and they actually acclimate you to the spiritual sense. And another thing that I wanted to unpack, and I will unpack this, my twin flame actually knew who I was before I even knew who I was. He was already getting the information that was needed, but jealousy crept in. Yeah, I'm going to say it. He seen how I was making moves. He seen how I was getting up. I'm about my business. I'm about it person. I'm a go-getter. If I want it, I'm going to get it. If I don't have it and I want it, I'm going to go get it. I'm a go-getter person. So some people are procrastinators. Some people are laid back and they don't want to do the proper steps or the proper measures to get them to the marks of where they're supposed to be, which is the high calling of Christ Jesus. So if you don't recognize who you are, we need to recognize who we are in Christ, in God, the Godhead, the threefold man, So at the end of the day, we recognize. So he recognized all this in me, but when my gifts start coming to boys, it was just, he tried to gaslight me. And now I do want to unpack that some of the stuff that he's going through that I'm going to say. So when we have What's the Tea the next time, I promise you, this will be a more unpack, because I usually have my papers, because I don't want to just, run off of my spill, because I can talk you a lot. But at the end of the day, we have to recognize that what we live is true. We can't keep on living this fake stuff anymore. When I dealt with religion, it was just so much of a repeated situation, a repeated understanding. You can't give me nothing different that I haven't learned from this church and that church and this church. And so when we desire more from God, he'll show you more of him, the more understanding of him, the more recollection of him, the more knowledge of him. So that's where I'm at in God. And I don't even... At first, it used to bother me that people didn't understand who I was and where I was at in God. But now I don't even care. It comes to a point where you don't need a validation from nobody. When you know who you are in God, you stand on it. I know who I am in God, and I'm never going to lead nobody astray. When I was driving down to Maryland, my cousin called me, was like, "Mid, I'm tired of being in here. I need to get back home to my kids." I could not do nothing but go in tongues. I speak in tongues. Yes, I do. But these things are only religious people have. No, I don't look at religion the way people look at religion, because it's counterfeit. At the end of the day, we look at spiritualism as what God says it is. A lot of people defraud it. It's fraud. At the end of the day, I recognize what it is. People want to put more to the word than what it is. Why? Stop lying to yourself. When we lie about these things, it doesn't save anybody. It doesn't heal anybody, and it doesn't deliver anybody. So when I got to the understanding and got to the forefront of my knowledge that, hey, I'm going to be what God called me to be, I did just that. So at the end of the day, I advise you to get to a point where you know God for yourself and that you can read the word for yourself and understand the word for yourself to know that this is what it is. Adam had a wife before Eve. A lot of people don't know that. There are blanks that's in that word that you don't know. And that is a mystery to you. And if you don't understand who God is and what he's trying to reveal to you, you will never know. But his wife prior to that was little. That's why you got these combative women out here. You got these women that want to run over top of men. You got these women that want to be all shysty towards men. They are the little. They are the comics. They are the people that was on scene prior to Eve. Eve is the good karma. Is this the Dharma? That's where Eve came from. But we want to read just like, okay, Eve was Adam's first. No, she wasn't. Lilith was. Lilith was his first wife. So you won't get that understanding. You won't get that knowledge unless you really understand who God is and that he can download into you what you need to know. When you want to know what you need to know in God, he will start downloading in you. But when you get to that level of understanding, but until you get to that level of understanding, you'll still be sitting at a place of where you are. But I advise you to take heed and advise you to take notice of who you are in God. Whereas though he will acclimate you to who you really are in him. That he will download your gifts. Everybody has gifts. Everybody on this God's green earth has gifts, but you have not tapped into them. You have not acclimated them. Acclimate them. There are different gifts. I'm gonna talk about the different gifts that we all have them. But because we have not activated our they say sixth sense. I say Godhead. But it is. We have not acclimated our the third eye. We have not acclimated that. So until we acclimate that, we'll still be stuck. So why be stuck? That sixth sense, that third eye is your intuition. It's something that tells you that don't go here, don't go there. This is not, you can't do this. That's the same thing. But we take these words, right? And that's not of God. That's not God. And that's how people explain these things. And if you don't recognize how people explain them, or come on, let's be real. People can only explain things according to what they know it to be. And if you're trying to downgrade a person or downgrade them because of how they are explaining themselves to be, that's a problem. That's a whole issue. Because a person can only be who they can be because they're them. They're being the authentic version of them. But if you think you are so high and mighty that you know more than someone else, then so be it too. And I promise you, you will be knocked off that horse so quick and fast that somebody can say, boo, baby. This stuff that I get, like I said, I don't be on here always. But I come on here when God want me to reveal, want me to download, or give you a inspiring, inspirational message that he has a concern with everybody about. Well, when it deals with me, I just sit back and just chill. I get all the downloads, I get all the understanding from me. But when he tell me, hey, man, I need you to share this with people, I'm going to share it. You got to share what God has bestowed upon you. And it's just not for the building. What you do? You want to constantly get money from people? What you want to? You constantly want to take people money? It's not for the building. The church is not the building. Come outside the four walls. I minister to people every day. I talk to people every day. I get a process where I go into being able to heal people, being able to set free people, being able to deliver people outside of the walls. But religious people is just so connected to the walls that, hey, these bills need to be paid. But I got this building to show you. This is lavish lifestyle for me. I'm living the church talk. Baby, it's time out for that. The Antichrist is here. We're about to move in a new earth. You got to the end of this year. And everybody, the stuff that we knew about all our lives. Oh, he's coming down to crack the sky. He's coming down. No, he's coming down to crack your brain, basically. He comes down to enlighten your mind to take you to another level of understanding, because you have not gone there yet. You have not entered in yet. You have not ascended yet. So you're going to find that this year go very fast. We already in the month of February. January just came and gone. So I'm trying to let you know, at the end of the day, this is what it is. Like, this year about to go out really fast. And the worlds are splitting right now. This is where the 3D and this is where the 5D lies. We are right now in the middle. The people that have enhanced themselves of ascending, enlightenment, you're going to move to the 5D. But you're going to actually literally sit here and find that these people that's still on the 3D level will, oh man, we are developing. We all going to be here on the same earth, but you're just not going to recognize. You're not going to recognize why these people getting so much stuff. Why are these people moving on to the next level? Why are these people? Why you're going to keep on wondering, because your mind has not been enlightened. Your mind has not been activated. Your mind has not opened to Godhead. So at the end of the day, we need to, as a people, as a collective, open our minds to a mind frame of who God is. Who God is. I like this. Here, look. Do you see the elevations of how I am able to switch myself? This is. I put it like this because a lot of people say, "Me, that's like a gimmick of what you got on here." No, it's not. I made my phone. iPhones can do anything you want them to do. This is how I look. But hey, if you want to say, "Oh, you look kind of crazy, you look kind of weird," I make my face do it. So at the end of the day, we gotta recognize who we are, y'all. We really do. We gotta recognize who we are in God. Trust him. Believe him to be slow. Can you please mute, please? Believe it to be so. Believe it to be so. At the end of the day, you gotta know who you are. Know who you are. Trust and believe that God will do just what he said in your life. But I'm going to unpack the process with moving to the next person that's in your life, far as twin flames wise, because a lot of people didn't understand that twin flames and who twin flames are. So I'm going to break little down to you. That's coming up. Auras. I see auras now, y'all. I was like, this is like really getting good for me. I'm really getting good with these gifts. So I see auras around people now. I can tell like demons, not just, I used to, my sister had this sweet old gift that you can smell them. But now when I got on board, I can see them. But now I can see like auras around people versus telling me where they're all in alignment. Because this is the year of enlightenment. So I just want to let you know that I'm in that place of I can see auras, like which chakra is blocked. What's that aura around a person? What is it giving off? I'm at that point. We're going to talk about chakras too, because a lot of people don't understand chakras. I never understood them either until I got enlightened. So I didn't know what they was for, and I didn't understand them, and I didn't know why people talked about them. But it's a purpose for the chakras. It really is. It really is a purpose for the chakras, you guys. That's totally in alignment with God. Everything that I give to you with scriptures, so you can go in it. And it's just like one line. Like people try to make it so the scriptures in the Bible so big and lavish. It's that one line that will tell you exactly what it is, and that will identify it to you. But if you want to go a little bit deep, that's just something that you ask God for the understanding and a revelation of. But I did come on here to actually when I do it, I'll give the notice of it on there. But my twin that I got disconnected to, I think he don't recollect of what I know what's going on or how I can feel. If a twin is your twin, you're able to feel them. You're able to, pick them up in the spirit. You're able to see them. I know exactly what's going on. But I'm not going backwards. I'm not going backwards with nobody, and I'm not getting demonic entities attached because he's attached to one. And before I left, I said, I just don't want nobody to treat you bad. I don't want nobody to treat you bad. But I knew that was coming. with him, I had got that same thing, and I didn't know I was even in the third party situation. I didn't even I'm thinking I'm the only person, but he brought me in on the third party. So that we gonna unpack it all, y'all. But because I came in so late, I usually like doing it at 8 o'clock. I know everybody has work, but I did want to show up because I'm not a person that would lie. So I did want to show up for you guys on tonight. But we're gonna unpack it. If I can come on tomorrow, you'll see a posted on my profile that I'll be on live. That's usually I'll let you know when I'm coming on. I don't usually like doing pop-ups unless they're major. My pop-ups will be during lunch break. My pop-ups will be during lunch break. I do want to stress that point. So it's going to be between 12 and 1 o'clock that I pop up on here because I have been told that I need to do that. So I will be doing that. But we're going to really unpack the process of being moved to someone else. Move to another twin flame or high level soulmate, and that's what I'm in that process. But I'm all about making my bucks now. To be honest, I'm like, let me make bang. Yeah, let me make bang. But I don't mind love. I hope y'all get to the point of just wanting love for yourself, wanting to build for yourself, wanting to change your mindset for yourself and not nobody else. Not allowing people to want approval from you, and you not approving from somebody else. Be you. I can't trust that's going to be you. Be the authentic person. If nobody don't like you, love you. I love me. I never loved me the way I love myself before in my life. I love me. Because now I don't let nobody treat me any type of way. I don't let nobody treat me according to how they see me. Because I see me as better. I see me as worth it. I see me as a person that's is going somewhere and has already been somewhere. So this is I'm giving you this information, and I hope it's not a ramble, but I'm giving you this information. Please start seeing yourself as understanding who you are and loving yourself for you. When you gotta have somebody in your space and don't love you or care, you can tell if a person don't love you or care for you because they put you through holy hell. They put you through holy hell. You always gotta fuss. You always gotta cuss. You always gotta be separated. Who wants to deal with that? That's demonic entities, and that's just demonic. Because remember, we supposed to be living like Christ, like living in love, living in peace, living in harmony. If your house is disturbed, that's the problem. Something has entered in, and you need to find out what's going on with that. So that's just like incubus and succubus. We're going to talk about that too. It's a lot of stuff that I'm supposed to talk about, but like I said in the beginning, I had some family things that were going on, and now I just got something else going on, but I have to continue this no matter high waters, basically. No matter what comes, no matter what goes, I have to do my purpose and mission. At the end of the day, it's going to get done. I'm getting ready to go up for traveling too. It's a lot going on, but I promise you, I will be on here. I set schedule for Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If I pop up, it'll be during your lunch break or lunchtime between 12 and 1. They usually probably gonna be I usually stay on here for like an hour. So I just want to get you acclimated for that. But I will be on here to let you know when you get reassigned to another person. When you know who your person is and you get reassigned. And remember, we all have free will. Free will you have. God is not going to force nothing on you. But when the person don't take what God is offering, he reassigns. He reassigns. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to unpack that. So meet me here. I will post the next time I will be on here. There Friday I will not, unless it's a pop-up. But Saturday I will take the place of Saturday. Friday will take the place of Saturday. So I'm not going to be on here long because I don't have my papers and stuff in front of me because I don't like to just ramble on. But there's aspects that we need to know and need to understand about us as people, us as the collective, and us as higher levels. Okay? So this is Divine Due Diligence signing off. Peace, love, and namaste.
Well, it's time for me to sign up. I want to say peace, love, and namaste.